Hey, David. Looks like we're both drawing at the same time on a Monday. Can you say what you're drawing today, David? It's been a while since I've drawn this guy, I have to say. Hey, Jamie. yeah. Wait. Hey, Pod. Ooh, nice. I've done a Disney cover, but the book hasn't been announced. I did it like months and months and months ago, but I know it hasn't been announced yet. It wouldn't be my natural wheelhouse, but it was kind of fun to do something different, like the Muppets one. Doing my best to keep my stupid head out of the shot. So they're able to ask which book there is. yeah, I don't think it's been announced anyway. It would be a Disney film based off a known myth English story. With an animal with a bushy tail. Can I say that much? Might be tempting fate here. Which, you know, is kind of cool to be asked that type of, like, I like doing my moody anti-hero characters. So it wouldn't be the first thing I'd think of drawing, but I did actually quite like it. Yeah, you get it, Dave. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with Gaston. I mean, I'm sure he'd come up with something, but that would be a hard one for me. Like you're saying, you're not relying on your usual kind of go-tos, but it's not a bad thing to get out of your comfort zone now and then. As somebody who will generally moan and complain about having to work outside the comfort zone. Worst thing is, I get his damn songs together. Yeah, fair enough. Think how I felt when I started working on Thundercats, man. I just could not get that theme music out of my head for like a month. I will, David. Are you on? I was just looking up where the hotel is and how to get into the place. I'm like, I have a fucking clue what I'm gonna do. I remember being kind of awkward getting from the hotel to the venue and then not knowing where I was going. It was a pain in the arse. Yeah, they had some crazy ideas back then, but up for the day, not tabling this time. I'll pop by and say hi. Yeah, do, man. A Sunday or Saturday, I assume. wasn't particularly familiar with B and TB before getting Gascon covers, but after watching all of his scenes for inspiration, I can't seem to lose the song. I'm going to be embarrassing. Who's Gaston from again? I know once you tell me, I'll be like, of course. I just right now I'm drawing a blank here. I always tried to ink Venom with a bit of texture. Like he was kind of like an alien bug or something. And I don't know if that ever came across. Beauty and the Beast. Oh yeah, that's an early one for me. Try this. Possibly, Bud. Might damage the condition of the drawing, though. Or make it better. Indeed. Hey Ron, how's it going, man? I assume you heard the good news of PJ? Delighted. Oh yeah, all good. I've moved back in with my mum for a bit. The landlord was selling, so I'm slumming it with the mammy. Which is fine. 44, staying with your mum. Nothing pathetic about that at all. Looking to buy hopefully this year, so no harm saving a bit of money, you know. Which is probably too much information for the internet, but there you go. Up yourself. what a scoop! Oh, good one, Ron. Where's the next con? Actually, this weekend. I'm going to London MCM. I haven't done it in a couple of years. It's not the best crack because you're out kind of outside London and it's kind of hard to, you know, it's not like you're going to have a great night out in London or anything. The Excel is a good bit out. But the show always seems to be quite busy, which is nice, and there'll be enough good heads around. And then I'm going to go to Miami in July. Should be cool. Been there a couple of times, good crack. It's pretty mental. But that's all I really have slated for a while. I've got a big thing coming up, and I don't want to be travelling too much while I'm on it. But at the same time, I live in a small town in Ireland, so it's I kind of do need to get out of here sometimes, just to. The great thing about living in a place like this is you can just sit down and draw, and you're grand. There's nothing too distracting. But then you do kind of need a distraction after a while. Be nice to go to Belfast more often, to be honest, but it's such a pain in the arse to get from here. Yep, agreed. There's a con in Enniskillen a couple of weekends away, I think. And they've asked me loads of times. I've gone once, but it's because I was able to go because girl I was going out with at the time of the car, so I was able to get there. But these days, no, like it would take me 6 hours to get like what was probably, as the crow flies, 3 hours. And as much as I'd like to go to Enniskillen, I don't like 6 hours, 7 hours on a bus want to get there. If that makes sense. Of course, if I could drive, that would solve all that, but this is my stream, where I can do no wrong. Hey, Tooth. Yeah, yeah. I've got to maintain my brand of being totally fucking useless. I like to ride in the back of cars and be chauffeured around and feel superior. I did not know there was a new Lego. Oh wait, I think I saw, because it's got some absolute stuff in it. I think I saw a trailer. I'm not really a game guy, so I don't really notice half the time. Oh, it's 50 pence at the same time, Deck. You know what, Ellie Wright goes to Enniskillen sometimes, and she goes up from Cork. I should probably talk to her at some stage. She's going up my way. That would also, of course, mean I'd have to think ahead and make good plans, which is also not my strong suit. Hey, I didn't get chauffeured to that Moon Knight premiere, alright? Let's just say she's a bit of a blind spot, Ron. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is really nice. I mean, I can't lie. And I will try to explain to people like, oh, I did this, and they're like, oh, you created him. Like, no. Like, he's been around since like the 70s. I'm not that old. I try not to. So many people worked on him before I did, you know. I at least can say the Mr. Knight thing, you know. At least like I'm not like over exaggerating a contribution. Because when they had I remember they had Khonshu in it, and you know, he's a bird skull, but he was in this kind of like Egyptian outfit, and I'm like, the bird skull is me, but I didn't do the Egyptian outfit. And then I saw like images of him in that from another artist. I'm like, okay, well, I can't really take credit for that now. But then at the end he shows up in the suit and the limo. I'm like, oh wait, no, okay, yeah, right, okay, I can. Or when the Deadpool stuff happened, I'm like, yeah, I can't. There's nothing I can take from. There's nothing that I can go like, that's me. Even the Boomerang stuff there recently, I'm like, should I take credit? No, wait, no, I actually did design this. Like this, yeah, I can take credit for this. I have no idea why I started talking about that. Susie wants to know when you do the wash and splatter. I've informed her there's better ways to say that. Nope, I think that's the best way. I will start doing it once all the kind of pencil stuff is down. So I'm going to do a bit more of these buildings, and then I'll ink the webs, and then that's when I'll add all the washes. I like to rub out as much pencil as I can, so that it's clear before any wash goes down, if that makes sense. Oh, so hi, Susie. Well, Pod, if you're reading, if you're reading Mumra, it's exactly what I've just done. What does that mean? Crap. This is annoying. I'm trying to try to post this on Instagram and I can't get the fucking. There we go. This is annoying. I'm trying to post this on Instagram and I can't get it. How do you drive this slide? Sorry about that. Where was I? How to learn to draw like that? Oh god, if I could only tell you star twiz. Lot of practice. Oh, nice one, David. Cheers, man. Nice hearing from you. start doing a webbing. And don't forget this bit. Didn't work. A sec. Have I been finally writing Thundercats and all that? Geez, sure, I'm only doing it a couple of years now. But yeah, it's been a really interesting challenge. I actually hadn't seen that reboot, so I was able to be a bit. I was worried I'd end up copying the reboot, so I didn't actually watch it. And sorry if my brain talking and drawing is hard. I had enough. I loved the original cartoon so much as a kid, but like I was also pretty young when I saw it, so I remembered all the good stuff and had no critical opinion of it. And then I'd watch the cartoon and realise, well, I would think this could be maybe better or blah blah blah. Which is very pretentious of me, but that was what I was kind of hired to do. So I tried to enjoy it for everything I could. It was definitely intimidating, but it went down so well, and everyone seemed to really like it, which was great. And I really got to push myself as a writer. To be able to write like long form stuff. So much of comics now is like miniseries, and you could have a really good idea, but then you got to wrap it up in 5 issues, which is it's fine, but it's kind of frustrating as well. Whereas Thundercats was kind of a success coming out the bat, so I was able to kind of have bigger ideas and longer ideas and flesh out characters and stuff. So that was an unexpected surprise. And then getting to do all the covers and doing all, instead of like just doing like splashy variant covers, I was doing more story orientated ones. So it kind of felt, I think I've said it to people, it's like I was getting to do 90s X-Men. That's the kind of energy I was trying to bring to it. And I've really been enjoying it. It has distracted me from drawing more. I wrote so much between that and Terminator. I wrote a lot last year, and didn't draw that much, which was very, very weird. Right, so writing or art, you have to pick one. What scratches the bigger itch? Art every time. The writing is great because it has helped. I'm drawing less, but I'm drawing more of what I'm really into. If that makes sense. From a drawing point of view, you really you've a certain amount of control over your career. But at the end of the day, you need a paycheck. So if something's going, you'll end up taking it. I'm not disparaging anything I've done in the past, just, you know, I know a lot of guys who've just taken it because it's going, and it might be the best choice for them, but it's the only choice for them, and thankfully I'm not in that position. I think writing my own stuff has helped me with that level of career security. Sorry, again, words not coming out right when I'm trying to draw, but I think you get the gist. But I kind of write to draw, not draw to write. And if there was any moment where I had to pick between what I'd like to do more than the other, it's always drawing. Like this is my happy zone. Whereas with writing, I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall half the time. Is the Thundercats good? I don't know, Ron. Who's to say? I tried to do something that was if you don't know Thundercats at all, it doesn't matter, you'll get the gist. And if you're a big fan, there's enough in there to like really that you would remember from the original cartoon. And of course, I got to draw the new crossover I'm doing. I got to draw the first issue, and that was pretty fun. Like I said, I'm channeling all my 90s X-Men love into it. No, Ron, when I got this Thundercats gig and we like it was announced New York Comic Con and it was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And there were people were going like, oh yeah, what about Silverhawks? And I was like, huh? I had no clue what anyone was talking about. But yeah, if you're in the States, Silverhawks, they're all, you know, tied in. But I don't think they did make it over here because I hadn't heard of them. But it's fun. Like Ed Brisson was writing it, a series, and like so that's I only really know Silverhawks from the comic. Weirdly, that was my research for writing it. But it's kind of like just drawn like space cops, basically. Silver space cops. Each more 60 to the last. But it's good fun to write, and it was also good fun to write something a bit different, like having new characters to play with and what have you. I designed a new costume for Lino, and there's some fun stuff in there. And also the licensors are very hands-off, so they kind of just let us do whatever, which has been great. It's not what you often hear about licensed stuff. Do you practice line control? That's a very good question. Yeah. Yes, but not deliberately. It's kind of something you kind of just do as you're working. I wouldn't. In the early days, I would have practiced it more, but then the more you draw, the more you kind of just get a natural sense for it, I would say. I'm pouring tea, by the way, not peeing. I always feel like I need to stress that. Really does sound like I'm peeing though. Anyway. Okay. You can let Susie know the grey wash is going to start kicking in, Ron. Oh, hey, Will. Thanks, man. Hope you're yelling through the house, Ron. Susie! Susie, get down here right now! Oh, hey man. The convention is this weekend, so I haven't done it yet. We will see. I've done it a couple of times, and it's busy. It's a big kind of media show, so it'll get a good crowd. And there's a lot of good people at it too, so at least I know I'll have a laugh. Well, I was meant to chicken recently. How come? Or is there any reason you're not doing that many shows? Well, I'd like to say I'm not doing that many shows, but then I'll probably end up doing loads, and then I'm just full of shit. Yeah, I hear you. What's new coming out from et moi? Misha? Let's see. This old crossover yoke coming out. I have 2 more of an issue of that to write left, and the Mumra book, which is great fun actually. Been enjoying the hell out of that. I'm writing a horror miniseries. About halfway through that, doing covers for it, and then I'm starting on a excuse me, starting on a kind of a bucket list project that I still can't really believe is happening, but it does seem to be. So I'm going to try and not ruin that for myself. I'm pretty sure I told you about it because I couldn't stop talking about it. But I'll be starting that next month basically. So I'll be buckling down to draw myself really this year too. I'm doing a Florida show, and I'd say I probably won't do any more till New York. I say that now, of course. Depends how words not work in brain. How much cabin fever I get in the meantime. I had to Rob Will. It's something I pitched a long time ago, and it took a while to happen, but is happening. So maybe I didn't tell you just because I was worried it wouldn't happen. No, so I'm not rubbing out the ink on the webs yet because a lot of the Indian ink has taken a while to dry, and I don't want to smear it. So I get there though. Here, this is good. Okay. Dude, once I can say what it is, don't you worry. I will be screaming it from the rooftops, but it is far too early to share. No one has really accused me of modesty. Unless they were being sarcastic. Will last. I merely gave some clues. So Will, you're just gonna you're buckling down to get the books done, so that's it. Like you're pushing and you're preparing and you're getting it all done, and you're like, oh wait, now I gotta actually do it. Yeah, I've got to do the book you did the cover for. It's some behind the scenes delays, but also putting together my other book and doing a big benchmark. Oh, excellent. Oh, man. Great. That Juggernaut cover you did was fucking class, man. Absolutely savage. Like, definitely one of the coolest things you've ever drawn, if you don't mind me saying so. Okay, so how much of what you're doing here is you pre-visualizing and then working to realize that versus stream of consciousness going on the page? Oh, don't make me question myself, Rob. Ron. See what happens? My brain stops working. I mean, you saw the pencils. How much of what you're doing here is you pre-visualizing and then working to realize that versus stream of consciousness going on the page? Oh, Jesus. There's definitely a balance. Like, I constructed this city in a way that it'll be fairly easy to draw. I'm not working out. There's a little bit of perspective, but then I'm fudging a bit of it. And I'm kind of... I like there to be a bit of, like, room for drowsiness, for lack of a better phrase, where I can kind of make mistakes and fidget around and it not have to be, like, perfectly articulated. But it can't all be that, or the whole thing will just fucking fall apart on me. So I guess there's definitely a solid maybe 70% pre-visualizing, and then leaving things open for like a 30%. Like, you know, this is here. I'm especially with the washes, I kind of see how it goes as I'm going, and then I might realize like it should be darker here. It needs to be darker on his here on his nose, and I won't know that until I'm doing it. I'm probably a bit looser with the washes because I kind of see it, like say here, I'm like, this should probably be a bit darker there. But I didn't know that going in, you know, here too. So I'd say with the washes, it's a bit more. I wouldn't say stream of consciousness, but editing as you go. I find, you know, between the inks, the pencils and the inks, I'm kind of editing the drawing as I go along. But like, I know artists who are really just go loose and kind of go crazy, and I wish I was one of those guys, but I'm not. I tried and I failed spectacularly. I don't know how satisfying an answer that is, Ron. Basically, I'm a genius, and like it just, you know, flows naturally, and I don't even think about it. But no, there's a level of which it is stream of consciousness. I don't. I guess I don't think about it too much because I know if something's working, you don't want to overthink it too. It's a very good question, though. Top marks. Now you have me thinking about it now, Ron. You've ruined me. Oh, thanks, Ron. I like talking about it too, as long as I'm not coming across like a total wanker. It's one thing I did learn, kind of as I've worked through this crazy world, is it's not so much like how well you can draw, it's how you're thinking about drawing. That really helped me a lot. So that's why I do like those kind of questions, because I think a lot of comics is drawing via shorthand, you know, because you got to move so fast and draw so many things. Like, I didn't look at any reference for these buildings, I just drew them out of my head. You can fall into traps of just kind of drawing shorthand, which is necessary, but also I think you can just fall into traps, and I don't want to end up in that mess. Hey Dan, Nee. Yeah. Yeah, Danny. That's basically it's just been an hour and a half of me just talking about how much of a genius I am. Yep, you've missed nothing. Oh God, don't let Mooney hear this. Interesting. Well, from the moment you ink it, it's automatic. I think it happens the more you kind of do it professionally too. You know there's a danger of stopping thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. Ah, thanks, Danny. Oh, Will, you asshole. If I'm getting what you meant by your comment, you dickhead. I'm jealous. I think he's all done on it, Will. I think he's finished actually drawing it. Now he's just gonna... Danny's gonna just absorb all the adulation. Hi, Tatjana. I'm not going to dignify that with a response. Fair play. to Ron's point, like I'm just kind of making this up as I go along now with the washes, just trying to have a little bit of fun. Will any creator owned? Yes, actually. I've got 2 things I'm working on. Well, that was too much tea. Excuse me. One will be an ongoing, and it's like happening. It's like been approved. Yeah, I'm going to try do something pretty nuts with that one. And the other, it hasn't been, I haven't pitched it yet. So that's not guaranteed. Well, no, I'll do it somehow. I'll pitch it to Image and see what happens. It'll be a weirder thing, so I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure it'll get approved, but I want to kind of try do something a bit wacky. After like a year or so of mainstream, writing, I think I've been feeling the urge to do something a bit kind of weird. Yeah, trying to keep those moving is kind of tough with everything else going on, but boo-hoo, I have such a hard life. Yeah, well, that's the plan. Will, I would, it's easy to say ongoing creator owned, but I think there's enough potential for the book to sell well enough that we could do ongoing. I'm definitely aiming for like at least 15 issues. I think I have all the ingredients. It'll really just be down to me if I can write something good. It would be for somebody else to draw as well, because that dream gig I mentioned, I'll be drawing that, so it's going to take up all my drawing time. So yeah, going to give it a shot and see what happens. Oh right, yeah. So I would be drawing both. Sorry, writing both, not drawing. Doing covers for one of them, or variant covers for one of them. I want to do more Old Dog. If I draw a creator owned, the next thing it'll be more Old Dog, but I just don't have the time to do that. I think I'd kind of be taking the piss if I drew a whole new comic that wasn't Old Dog. And the problem is I have like 2 other ideas I'd like to draw. I just I think it would be important for people who like took a chance on Old Dog that I finish that first before I do anything else. Unless you disagree. Here's another thing I've been driving myself mad about. Never got the whole power pack thing, man. I think I missed that boat. But yes, basically. Do I need to draw? I wish, man. Jesus. I did ask. I did have a poll on the old newsletter there a while ago, asking like if I could write more Old Dog and have somebody else draw it, and how would that go down? But everyone was very much want you to draw it, which is fine with me. But my guilt about it not being out for a few years does get to me sometimes. I find I am primarily motivated by guilt. Yeah, I know, it's just a stereotype, but I feel like I just confirm all our stereotypes. Any tips for focusing or getting started, struggling badly with the owl procrastination? Have you tried guilt? That works for me. Honestly, mad pure jealousy helps. If you're being all lethargic, spite is a wonderful motivator. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, but it works. I would say I had a friend. I've told the story a few times. I was working like these manual labour jobs when I was starting out, and I had to get up at like 6 a.m. and get a bus out to where I was working, and it was this kind of crappy manual labour job. And then at the weekends I would work on comics, at the weekend I'd be fairly lazy. I'd be like, I'll do it later on, and I'd sleep in, and I wasn't really getting much done. And a friend of mine said, like, why are you working harder at the job you hate than the job that you want to have? And that gave me a real kick up the arse, I have to say. He was dead right. I was totally slacking with the time where I was lucky to have time to work on art, and I was just kind of being very unfocused and lackadaisical about it. Whereas I was like working my absolute arse off at a job I hated. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know if that'll help you at all. But when I was starting out, there were artists I'm like, I'm better than them, which is very egocentric, but you know what? I was better than them, and I should have had those jobs. The difference between me and them was they were out there getting them. I was sitting around expecting it to come my way, and that wasn't going to happen, so I had to get myself out there. Sometimes it's not even about like if you deserve a job, it's just that like you happen to be there. Like you'll do that. Like, I'm not even being funny, like sometimes that does get you the job. It has nothing to do with how good you are. It's not ideal, and I'm not saying it's always the case, but it can happen. I don't know if that's any help to you. Never makes makes sense. Fair enough. Hey, I never claimed that I did. And to be fair, Will, he already was following you. I don't know if they were good tips, lost and found, but here's hoping. It's partly why I use this crappy brush as well, because it's not perfect. It's a real disaster brush, but it forces me to kind of, gives me the space to mess around and sometimes kind of make mistakes and work with them. Excuse me. You over your flu, Tatiana? Doing any better? Aaron, it's nothing specific. It's just it's whatever. It's my liked music, just played randomly on shuffle. But things like bands I'm not cool enough to really know who they are. We have Swap Meat, Broncho, Perfect Binding, Nine Inch Nails, Snail Mail, Liz Cooper, Soundgarden, Sweet 93, Cryo Geyser, Retail Drugs, Sasami. Like, again, I don't know. Like, I'm not cool enough to actually follow these bands. I just like, I heard the music and I'm like, oh, I like that. But essentially comprises of sad girl emo music, I think. That seems to be my genre of choice.
but better for the convention than at the convention. Yeah, I mean,
As long as you don't get sick at the convention too. Yeah, maybe you've built up a little bit of resistance.
Have dance about bog bodies too. Did international people get it? I'm a dub and laughed my ass off at the familiar faces and people.
That's great, man. I'm really glad to hear that. But yeah, like I think I kind of looked out. It was coming out just as COVID hit, and got kind of, scuppered by it. But then when books started, when comics started coming out again, Bog Bodies was one of the first ones there. I think it was one of the first graphic. That and a Batman comic were out, and I think we beat Batman. But only because there was no other comics, But yeah, I get people at American shows all the time who tell me they really liked it. So I tried with that and Savage Town to make something that was local, specific, but not what's the word I'm looking for? Not isolating, but nothing that kind of like made you feel isolated in the story. It's just sets, like we here in Ireland watch so much stuff set in other countries, and as long as the specificity isn't confusing, if you can understand things in the context they're said. But it was definitely a difficult balance to work out, because I could have made it more local sounding and it would have been completely confusing to an outside audience. So it's a bit of a dance there, but I think I pulled it off. I would like to do more stuff. I've got a book I want to write and draw that's in that kind of genre. But again, time. So, Tatiana, you're saying I look like a sad emo girl. Okay, good to know. At least I know what my thing is. Oh, thanks, Tatiana. That's not what I thought you meant. I'll take it. This one's taking a bit longer than I thought it would. Sad but cute. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll take the good. I'll take the rough with the smooth. I'm sad. Concede to this, or two big conventions would be too much. Well, fair enough. You're talking to the guy who does like 6 big conventions a year. I don't know if I'll do Thought Bubble. I might. I don't know. I skipped it one year and I didn't mind skipping it, but then I did have FOMO for afterwards, and I went for the next 2 years. I can't be right now. I can't be arsed, but I'm sure when it gets to November, I'll be like, oh, I want to go see everyone. Sometimes I feel like I get paid by Marvel and Co to go to conventions though. Well, that'd be nice. Well, that's not true. Some shows will look after you. Not Thought Bubble though. Yeah, I saw Michael Larson. That's class. I know he's living in the UK these days, so it makes it a bit easier. But that's it. It's easier to fly to Belfast and get a lift to Enniskillen than it is to drive from Clare up to Enniskillen. Or sorry, not drive. Public transport. But that's class. I genuinely would like to go. Just can't. Just doesn't make any logical sense for me at the moment. It's great to have it, like.
ever tempted to go live in the US, or I find working here still works? Um, and yeah, when I was younger, I think I toyed with the idea of it. Uh, but when I was breaking in, I spent a lot of time there, and I got to like hang out a lot in New York. And I really, really, really liked it. I loved it, but it was also very intense. Everything, like, New York is just such a crazy, crazy city. Something's happening all the time, and it definitely helped me breaking in, like, you know, networking and meeting people and what have you. But I also realized it's all well and good to meet people and you know, make contacts and stuff, but if you're not actually getting work done, it's all talk, you know. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So when I did get opportunities to actually get to work in comics, I decided, well, Ireland's a good place to just really focus, because there was feck all else to do. You know. It was, I don't know, it's a good, you can do nothing, you can get away with not having much on here. So I made the most of that, and then ever since, I'm just comfortable here, to be honest. If I'd never ever spent any time in America, maybe, but I did spend time in America and I enjoyed it, so I feel like I had my fun, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I was missing out. And I get to travel there loads of time. Like, I've been all over it now at this stage, and I like, you know, like I went to New Orleans last year, and Chicago again, and so I feel in Ireland I have the environment to just be productive, and have a fairly chill life. And then when I want to go somewhere and have a bit of a laugh, that door's open to me, you know. And also, you get older and you meet, you know, you've got friends and you want to kind of make roots. So I think if I'd never gotten to do it, I'd be a lot more kind of antsy about it. But because I've kind of had my fun, it's all fine. Tatiana, don't get money from they are bringing in a kind of a basic income for artists. That was like a test pilot they did, and they are doing it in the next year. But there's also artist exemption for art on income for artists, which is actually definitely a reason to stay in the country. Oh, sorry, stretch. Right. I don't know about paying people to move there. That's I'm not sure that's the case. I also don't know I know some stuff about it, but I don't know everything. It's not something I would do because I do make a living from it. But I do think it's good to have something where, if it's something you want to like try and go for a career in the arts, it's a bit of a support there to try it out. I didn't have that starting out, but also, you know, things were pretty different then. Things were a lot cheaper for one. Sorry, my stupid head's in there. Oh, thanks. Right. Well, I'm nearly done anyway. I'd say like another 10 minutes tops. That's good to hear from you, man. And can't wait to see what the book come together. Oh, please do, yeah. Ireland is a good spot to live. I can't complain. Depending where you are, of course. Don't fuck this web tag. Oh, I was advertising for Belfast Run. Okay, nearly done. Joke. I think I'll let this dry for a little bit just because there's a lot of blotchy ink here. I'll give it a scan in a bit. I think that'll do it. Oh, lost and found. I just burn it. Lost and found. I freak out, panic, and throw it in the bin. No, realistically, I try figure out a way around it and hope nobody actually noticed. That's what I do. But yeah, I'm just going to touch up little mistake like tweaks here and there and tighten it up. But that's it. I think I'm. That's him done. Oh dear. Yeah, okay, I'm wrecked now. Good God, it was 2.5 hours. Oh, crap. One bit. Yeah. That's done. Right, thanks a million, lads. I don't have any other commissions due, but I might try take some in the next couple of weeks, so I might try do this a bit more often. Stranger things have happened. Sure, we'll see. But thanks for keeping me company. I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Where's the off thing on this? There we go.